But all we need here is a tennis ball, yoga block, or something similar. And if you have some kind of stick or bar that you can use, broomstick, mop handle, whatever that may be, that will work great. Nothing is totally essential, but those will be helpful. So we are going to start off seated, just with some comfortable breathing, and we're actually going to use a ball. So ideally something like a tennis ball. I don't want something too hard. If you don't have a ball, you could also use like a towel, a rolled up little towel or piece of clothing. So we're working on creating and controlling tension today in a lot of different areas. So what I'm going to have you do is actually take the ball and put it under a spot in your hamstring. So this is a common practice to kind of roll out tight spots. So I want you to just find a spot. I like to do somewhere up a little bit higher, meatier area. And what I often find is that if I either lean back into my hands or lean against something, that will help me relax. So our goal here is to get the ball into a spot that maybe you have some tension and try to relax your leg as best you can. Okay, so again, supporting yourself with your arms or something behind you can help. And while we're doing this, think about breathing in at about a 4 count and try to breathe out at about a 6 to 8 count. So we're getting some nice diaphragmatic breathing in. And imagine your leg, especially your hamstring where this ball is touching, is like memory foam. Okay, so it's just sinking right in. It's absorbing and engulfing the ball. That's what we want to do with each breath. We're just sinking more into that ball. The ball is disappearing into our memory foam hamstring. Ideally, maybe you've got like a really firm mattress here going on, and that's okay. But we want to try to progress to memory foam. Okay, so then what we're going to do is feel these tissues where the ball is touching. We want to try to contract those tissues to eject the ball. Okay, so like those memory foam commercials where someone steps on it and they leave and then the footprint goes away and their partner is still sleeping. It's great. So slowly try to contract the hamstring muscles to push the ball back out. Then slowly relax them again and re-accept that ball into your hamstring. Okay, then we can do, there we go, admit some more people here. Then we can add the breathing to this. Whoops, let me close that. So what I want you to do with that ball is as you breathe in at about a 4 count, you're going to ramp up to eject the ball. So breathing in, contract. As you exhale at a 6 to 8 count, you're going to relax and settle back down, allowing the ball to sink into your hamstrings. Okay, breathing in, contract, eject the ball, breathe out. Or I'm sorry, my breathing was off, but breathe out, relax into it. So try this a couple more times, and what I want you to really focus on now is, can you really isolate this area? So for me, when I have trouble doing this, I think about driving my heel down into the floor, and that helps me contract my hamstring to eject the ball. Now, the other thing that does, though, is it contracts the rest of my leg. So over time, we want to contract less. So can I keep the rest of my leg relaxed and the rest of my body relaxed and just contract that spot where the ball is? That is the ultimate goal. So for those who just joined, we've got a ball under our hamstring, a tennis ball. ideally somewhere under the hamstring here, and we're just working on creating tension. So let's just go a couple more here. You, of course, can do this in any area in your hamstring. So again, you're breathing in at about a 4 count, contracting your hamstring, breathing out at about an 8 count, and trying to sink your leg back over the ball. Okay, so it's like our leg is memory foam. It's sinking over the ball. There we go. And let's just go one more. Breathe in, contract. On that exhale, let the hamstring sink into the ball. All right, cool. If you tend to have tight hamstrings, this is something that could potentially help because we're changing the neural drive there. So now, same thing other side, and you can pick whatever spot you'd like on your hamstring. Again, I kind of like the higher up, and that tends to be where some people have issues. So, same deal. Relax if you can, so back on your hands or in a wall. And our leg, the bottom of our leg, is a memory foam mattress. We're just letting it sink onto the ball. Okay, ideally that leg is just gradually accepting the ball as we breathe in for about a 4 count and breathe out for about 8 seconds. There we go. Try to relax. And as I said before, you might find that your hamstrings right now are just a very firm mattress, or maybe it's just like sleeping on the floor. But we want to gradually progress to memory foam. Good. Let that sink in. Get a feel for this spot. We want to map out this spot in our mind where that ball is. Then what we're going to do is, however you need to do it initially, try to eject that ball. So contract your hamstrings to push the ball out. And then relax slowly to try to re-accept that ball into your hamstrings. Good. However you need to, try to eject the ball out. So again, for me, driving the heel down helps me engage here. And then try to relax. Now I want you to make sure you're doing that with the breathing. So as you breathe in for a 4 count, you're ramping, contract, exhale for about an 8 count, and slowly relax. And with each breath, we're doing the same thing. Inhale, contract, exhale, as you sink back over that ball, accepting it. And as we go, we're going to do a few more here. I want you to think about trying your best to only contract the area right where the ball is. It's totally okay if your entire leg or even if your whole body wants to contract. Over time, we just want to get a little better at isolating. There we go. So one more breath here. Observe how that feels compared to the other side. This is isometric ramping. And we can do this any part of our body. You know, you could put your finger here and push in and do the same thing with your quad. You could lie down. Anywhere where you have tension or discomfort that doesn't seem to want to let go, this is a really good strategy for that. And it just helps us tune in. So now we're going to create more full body tension. So we're going to go no ball, quadruped position. There we go. And I'm going to have you take just a slight round. So a little tuck of the pelvis, little round of your spine. Good. And I want you to take a breath in and try to expand your whole torso as much as you can. And then a nice big breath out. Feel those abdominals contract. Breath in. Breath out. Repeat, and as you're doing this now, I want you to take your hands and your knees and try to push them away from each other. And that's going to create more tension through your body. Now, I want you to take a breath in and try to feel that pressure all around your abdomen and maintain that pressure as you breathe out. So as you breathe out, you're not losing the pressure in your body. So I want you to practice taking a few breaths here, still expanding with each inhale in all directions of your torso, but with your exhale, you're not losing pressure. And this can be a little challenging. Still keep pressing with your hands. Now, we're going to reverse it and just play around with that tension. So think about pulling your hands and knees together. And same deal. You'll feel probably a little more abdominal engagement. Breathe in. Expand into your back and sides and chest. Breathe out and maintain some of that expansion. Maintain some of that pressure. A couple more here. Breathe in and out. Each time you breathe in, you're creating a little bit more even pressure through your torso. When you breathe out, you'll lose some, but I want it to be a net gain with each breath. Good. Keep the pressure with your hands. Last breath here. And then relax. So that can be a sneaky core exercise there for you. I also wanted you to practice creating that tension. So really good to be able to create and release tension in specific areas, but then also create a unified full body tension called irradiation so that we can get more out of some of our training. Now, we'll go to something a little easier. So we're going to go on the back and we're going to do ankle CARs. Okay, so we're going to go both ankles at once. I'm just going to take my hands and put them on my knees. And you can go whichever direction you want. I like to go one leg clockwise, one counterclockwise. There we go. Shins don't move. Yep. So we're just getting those ankles warmed up. We got some fun stuff coming though today. So anytime we're talking about manipulating and controlling tension, there's a lot of potential for fun. Switch directions with your ankles. There we go. Tune in. What are you feeling? It's neat. I find the more you focus specifically on certain areas, or you get better at focusing in on one particular spot, it gives you better awareness throughout your entire body too. You just seem to get better at that. Okay, you can relax. If you have a ball, we are going to take the ball and squeeze it behind your left knee, and you can straighten your right leg. And from here, just a gentle squeeze, we're going to do hip rotations. All right, so let me show you from this angle. Boom, boom. Okay, so straighten your right leg. I'm just showing you here so you can see a little better. Rotate that left hip internally and externally. Think about that knee, that kneecap pointing straight up and not moving, except to rotate. All right, now, same leg. I want you to squeeze a little harder. Okay, so we're creating a little bit more tension there in that hip. Good. You can also dig down your right heel, drive your fists down into the floor, squeeze that ball really hard, and just get a couple more rotations there. Notice the difference. See if you can squeeze out a little bit more range of motion. Woo! And then you can relax that leg. Excellent. Take a little breather. So the more we can create a solid unified contraction through our whole body with that solid pressure and tension, usually the more force we can create at our moving part. So now, take the ball and put it behind your other knee. Left leg straight. Start off easy, just a gentle squeeze. And we're just going to go side to side. Or I should say rotating, so that thigh is rotating internally and externally. Kneecap is still pointing straight up. It's not changing, it's just twisting. Squeeze a little harder with that ball and notice what you feel. What do you feel different? Nice. Now dig the left heel down hard into the floor. Drive your fists down hard into the floor. Squeeze that ball with your knee and see how much rotation you can squeeze out of your hip. Another thing this is going to do is it's going to further limit how much you'll be able to compensate, which is good. One more rotation, and then you can relax. All right. Excellent. So, again, just active napping. We're just lying down, moving some stuff. Next up, we're going to do a little spinal segmentation. So, kind of primed you a little bit with some of this work. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to lead with the pelvis for 2 reps, then lead with the head and neck. Then we're going to create more tension. So think right now, easy. Observe what you're feeling. Start extended. Tuck your pelvis. Slowly round. All the way up your spine. Tuck your chin at the end. Nice big C shape. And just nice and easy. Keeping it easy. Untuck the pelvis. Droop down. Excellent. Mid and upper back, and then look up with your head. And then we'll go one more time. Tuck. Round slowly. All the way to the head and tuck the chin. Untuck. Slowly droop down. All the way to the upper back and the head. Awesome. Now we're going to do the same thing, nice and easy, leading with the chin. So tuck your chin. Round slowly through the upper back. Mid back. Get that low back really moving and then tuck that pelvis. Good, and then untuck looking up. Droop down through the upper back first. Mid back. Low back. Pelvis. Good. Again, try to keep it pretty easy. Tuck your chin. Round. Slowly spread to the mid, the low back, and the pelvis. Beautiful. Okay, take a moment. Take a little break for a second. Okay. Now we're going to intentionally create more tension. So before we start, you're taking a little breath. So how we did it before, I was having you take big breaths. I have you take kind of a medium breath. Try to maintain some pressure through your abdomen. You're going to think about driving or pulling your hands towards your knees. Boom. And then we're going to tuck. So we're just going one each direction now. So you're going to start here. Create that tension. Take a little breath. Good. Pull with your palms. Start tucking the pelvis. Slowly, those abs are working to tuck the low back, rounding it. Let it spread to the mid back, upper back. Slowly tuck your chin. Find the biggest C shape you can. Your abs should be working. You're pulling with the palms. Now, slowly untuck the pelvis. You're still pulling, still keeping tension. Slowly droop through the low back. Feel those muscles working. Droop through the mid back. Droop through the upper back. Slowly bring your head up. Okay, take a moment, take a breath or two. Naturally, your breathing is going to be more shallow there, and that's normal. Just try to make sure that you're not holding it totally. So then we're just going to do one rep, starting extended with the chin leading the way. Okay, so we're extended. And And let's change it up. We'll try pressing the hands away. Okay, I want you to tuck your chin, slowly round. Keep your extension at the bottom of your spine until you get there. Round through the mid-back, the low back. Tuck that pelvis. Big rounding. Excellent. Now, this is generally the toughest part. Abs are on. Keep them on. Start looking up with your head. Droop through your upper spine. Abs stay on. Abs stay on. Droop through your mid-back. Slowly, little by little. Lower back. And then pelvis. And relax. All right, cool. So generally, when we create more tension and move slowly, we can get a little bit more range of motion. We create a lot more force. We get a lot more time under tension. It does not always have to be that way, but it's nice to throw that in. All right, so now we get to stand up. And we're going to have a ball with us. Okay. So standing up, we'll work a little bit on the shoulders. Okay. So now we're going to work axial rotations for the shoulders with different degrees, or different amounts of tension. So if you have a ball, great. If you do not, that is totally okay. You can just make a fist. So we're going to start by just kind of gently grabbing the ball, 90-degree angle here. Arm is out to our side. Get a little tuck of the pelvis. We don't want the ribs or pelvis moving. And we're just going to rotate internally, rotate externally. Okay, internal, external. And just take your time with that. See how that feels. There we go. Nice. Nothing else is changing through your body. Now I want you to start squeezing that tennis ball a little harder. Squeeze that tennis ball a little harder. Nice. See if you can squeeze out a little extra range of motion. There we go. Whew. Lisa, nice range there. Think about scap not moving. Squeeze just a little harder. We're just going to go a couple more here, then you get a break. Squeeze a little harder. As you get to that end range, can you squeeze out a little bit more? Nice. And then you can relax there. Okay. So the fun thing about tension is that you can make just about anything difficult. It's great. So now we'll go other arm. Same thing, 90-degree angle out to the side. If it's not comfortable going all the way out there, that's okay. You don't have to. Keep a slight tuck of the pelvis, and we're just going to gently grab the ball as we rotate. As far as you can, and just be mindful too at what's going on at the rest of your body. So like for example, Salts, I can tell your head's kind of turning a little bit, and that's very natural, but just something to be aware of. Something to be aware of that will affect the shoulder a little bit. Squeeze a little harder now, so same deal. Rotate in and out. Nice. There we go. Excellent. And just a little bit harder, we'll do a couple more. Chris, I'm impressed, man. There's nothing else moving on your body. That's like very good isolation. Very good isolation. That's generally what we're after. And it gets easier with time. Now you can relax that arm. All right, cool. Shake that out. So now we're going to go back to the first arm, whichever one you did, and you're going to go straight out like this. So just a little different plane of motion, and we're going to go right off the bat with a little bit more intensity. So squeeze that ball pretty tightly, rotate internally, rotate externally. If you feel like you don't have enough, like a lot of space in that joint and it feels a little tight, you can reach forward a little bit like that. That might give you a little bit more. Just be mindful that you're not extending through the spine. So just a couple more here. We're high tension, Squeeze, squeeze. Notice how your range might change, that arc of rotation. When your arm's in front of you might be a little bit different. There we go. Nice. And you can relax there for a moment, and then we'll switch. Another thing you can do that I should have mentioned on that side, you can do it on both, is if you support your arm, that might be a little different. So especially if you get any shoulder discomfort, you could support your arm a little bit. So now we're here, rotate, rotate. Okay, so specificity here too, if you were an arm wrestler, I'd have you do this a lot. I'd probably have you do it with weights. I'd probably have you do it with elastic bands. So let me know if any of you are starting up that kind of career. There we go. Just a couple more here. Keeping the rest of the body nice and still. Whew. All right, excellent. You can relax there for a moment. And then we're going to work some hip rotation. Closed chains. So with a foot planted, let me give you there we go. What I'm going to have you do is go with your left foot forward, and you're going to just kind of go up on the balls of the feet on the left foot, or the right foot. Okay, so I want more of that weight on the left foot. You can have a slight bend in the knee and hip. And from this position, we're going to rotate our pelvis and torso, like so, and then rotate back. And you can let the right foot kind of swivel a little bit if you want to, just so there's not too much pressure on that knee. But essentially, this left femur is staying still. We're rotating our body over it. So this is internal rotation. This is external. That knee might follow a little bit, and that's okay too. But I want you to focus on that femur is right here, and our pelvis is moving back and forth over it. That nice ball and socket joint. So let that pelvis turn. We'll get a couple more here. You can play around here too with the degree of hip flexion. So you could go here. Try that out. These muscles are going to be working a bit as we externally rotate, turning away from that leg. And then you'll feel some of the inside working as we pull in. Good, and then you can relax, and we'll try it with the other side. Okay, so right leg's going to be forward, up on the balls of the left foot. Here, rotate, and rotate. So think about these muscles here are kind of pulling you in, and then your glute muscles, some of those are driving you away. It's actually really important to be able to do this with a planted foot. Goes along with our gait cycle quite a lot. So rotating in, driving out. Keep more of the weight on the right leg if you can. And again, you can play around with how much hip flexion you want. See how that changes things. You might get a little different stretch in the back of the leg. There we go. And then you can relax there. All right. So now, if you have a block, that is great. Or if you have something like this, a book works, to grab onto. We're going to do some scapular CARs. So, elbows are bent at 90 degrees. We're grabbing on to this tight. I'll show you real quick the way it's going to look. Again, I want you, boom, tuck pelvis, slight bend in the knees. We're going to do scapular CARs. So the only way this block is moving is from our shoulder blades, not from the elbows. Okay, and we're not flaring out, just the shoulder blades moving. So starting off, squeeze really tight. We're creating a lot of tension. These are high tension. You're going to roll forward, shrug up, pinch back, pull down. Roll forward, shrug up, pinch back, pull down. Okay, so we're making a circle with this block. Okay, try to make a nice big smooth circle with the block, only using the shoulder blades. Nothing else is moving. Last one this direction. Then we're going to come down, re-squeeze, make sure you got that tension, pinch back, shrug up, roll forward, and pull down. Pinch back, pull the block towards you, shrug up, roll forward, and pull down. 2 more nice and slow. Try to keep your elbows fixed. Squeeze that block tight. Shoulder blades are doing the heavy lifting here. And last one. Whew. And yeah, for extra fun, I know what you were thinking. You could just use a weight. You could do the same thing. Okay, then you wouldn't have to really consciously think about creating tension. Your body would just have to do it so you didn't drop it on your feet. All right, take a little breather for a second here, and we are going to come down to a half kneeling position. Half kneeling position. Next week I think I'll just have everyone bring a 50-pound weight to class, and we'll go from there. I don't hear any complaints, so good. Okay, so I'm going to take a sip. We're going to work our elbows. So you can use, this is up to you, you can use a ball or a block. Down on the right knee, left leg forward. A block or a ball in your right hand. So I'm going to use a block just for a little change up. So if you have one, that's great. Just because it's a wider and a different experience for you. We're going to squeeze the block. There we go. Elbow is down. And you're just a comfortable half kneeling position, pelvis relatively level. Squeeze, biceps curl up. Rotate the block away. Press down. Squeeze that block a little harder, rotate, pull up, rotate, press down. And at the bottom, that upper arm isn't moving. We're just rotating from the forearm, squeezing up, rotate, down. Now same thing, but we're reversing it, so top of the hand is pulling up towards the shoulder. Rotate, extend. What I do like about something like a block or anything that's a little long is you see the angle of rotation. Boom. You get a little bit of feedback there for how much your elbow is rotating. Last one here, pulling up, squeeze, down. All right, we'll switch up the legs, switch up the arms. I do like doing this with different grips. So a ball is nice, hands out, gripping something wide is a nice change of pace for your hands and elbows. So here, solid position, make sure you're stable, squeeze, rotate, press down. Good, nothing changes at that shoulder. Squeeze, rotate, down. We'll go one more. These are also fun to add light dumbbells to. If you do biceps curls, this is a nice way to get a little extra time under tension and help those elbows out. Now, we're going to reverse, pull up, rotate, extend. And how does this rotate compared to the other one? You might notice differences. Pull up, rotate, slowly extend down. One more. There we go. And down. Beautiful. Okay. Then we get to do full shoulder CARs from a quadruped position. So I'll demonstrate really quick. What I like about this is you get all these points of contact with the ground to keep you steady. So it's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to do 3 reps. 1 rep easy, 1 rep medium, 1 rep full high tension. Okay, so left arm is going to come this way and across. Okay, so up and across, reach up overhead, internally rotate, keeping it relatively easy. Reach back behind you. You're going to probably find your back side or your side. Reverse towards the ceiling. Externally rotate as you hit some tension there, as you reach up away from the floor, coming across your face and down. Okay, now we're going a little bit more. Squeeze that fist. Slowly reach up. Chest and belly button stay pointed down towards the floor. Reach back behind you and down. Excellent. Reverse. Keep that squeeze. Elbows straight. Kick the elbows straight. Reach up, 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 and across. Take a moment, okay? Before your 3rd rep, take a second, regroup. Whenever you're ready, squeeze really tight. Biceps and triceps are working. Reach up. Imagine you've got a weight. And we're just working really slowly through this. Get that full rotation. Good. There we are. Chest stays pointed down. Belly button pointed down. Rotate and squeeze. Reach up and across your body. Nice. Looking good. Good focus there. All right, once you get 3, take a little break for a second. So again, I really like that one because of the feedback you get as you reach. You can think about not letting that torso rotate, and we're working a little bit differently against gravity. So, other arm, and we're going to start off nice and easy. So now we're ramping it back down. Easy rep, coming up and across. We're still trying to get a lot of range of motion, but I don't want this one to feel fatiguing. So you're just going nice and easy through that range, meeting a little bit of resistance. 2nd rep, squeezing the fist. We're going to push a little more into that. So you're reaching up, fighting gravity, internally rotating as you reach back behind you. Good. As you reverse, fight for that external rotation. There you go. Good tension there, Brandon. That's solid. Keep fighting for it. Take a moment if you need to before the 3rd rep. Okay? That 3rd rep, I want you to be ready for it. Okay, so this is the one, whatever tension that you can maintain for that full rep, that's what I want you to start with. Okay, so maybe not your max tension, but the max tension you can maintain for maybe 10 or 15 seconds. Big, strong rep here. Drive down through that left arm. Core is working. There you go. Good, Walter. Reach, don't turn. Yep, come across. Beautiful. As you finish that rep, keep tension. Keep tension. Nice. Whew. Once you get your 3, you can relax there for a minute. Or you may relax. I hope you can. That's part of our goal, is that when it's time to relax, your body is able to do so. Okay, so that's another one. Like adding it's reasonable as long as you don't have pain and you have good control. Adding a 1 or 2 pound weight can make that exponentially more difficult. But it is helpful. So now we get into the PAILs and rails. So we're going to do 90-90 internal rotation PAILs and rails. And actually, let's go this way. We'll go right leg forward, left leg back, because I want to demonstrate. I may not on the other side because of my little knee injury I've got, but for this side, 90-90 position. If you feel like you're not stable or not super comfortable, you can shift your weight to the side a bit. You can also pop a block up under you to try to get that pelvis a little more level. All right, so from here, I want you to think about first, we're going to do almost like we did standing, where our left leg is fixed and we're rotating our pelvis and torso. So here, if I want to internally rotate, I'm going to pull like that, the chest towards that left leg, and then I can externally rotate and push away. So you can feel like you're driving this ankle down with the intent to do that. Externally rotate, I'm pushing away. Internally rotate, I'm using these tissues to pull myself in. So I want you to just work through that a couple more times. Get a feel for those tissues. And for our PAILs and rails, we're going to start at the end of our active range. So when we do the rails contraction pulling in, this is what you're going to feel. Your leg is not going to lift up, but you're going to try to pull yourself further into that range. So I want you to get a feel for those tissues, what it feels like to pull, because this left leg isn't going to move. We're really moving our pelvis and torso over our left leg. All right, so our starting position is going to be wherever you can get to comfortably rotating. Okay, so you're going to rotate your pelvis, and then you can pop your hands down wherever you need to. Even if you need a block or something, or behind you, if you have a block behind you like this, this can make it a little easier. There we go. And we're just going to hang out there. Take a few nice deep breaths. And this is where we really get to practice this tension. So keep breathing, about 4 count in, about an 8 count out, and I'll explain. When I tell you to, we're going to do our PAILs contraction as if we're driving down with the intent to drive away, but you're not going to let yourself move. So we're going to gradually ramp that up to about 70 to 80% of your max effort. Then we're going to switch to rails, where we use these tissues we were just working on to try to pull yourself deeper into that internal rotation. Okay, we're going to do 2 rounds. First round is going to start here shortly. It already did start because we want that passive stretch first. But now, create a little tension. Try to breathe into your torso and your back and hold some of that tension. Slowly start driving down through your back leg. 10 or 20% effort. Take about the next 10 seconds to ramp that up to 70 or 80% of your max and hold it there. Okay, so we're working here. We're holding that tension through our whole body, but especially focused on our hip. Maintain. When I count you down, we're going to use these tissues to pull ourselves into internal rotation. 3, 2, 1, pull, 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 pull. So you can use your hands to help a little bit, but I want you to try to actively pull towards that left leg. So pelvis is moving towards the left leg, chest is moving towards the left leg. Pull. 3, 2, stay here if you can. 1. So what I'm doing here, because it's not easy to stay here, is I'm repositioning my arms to help me. If you start to cramp up, see if you can breathe through it. If you need to come out of it, that's totally cool. But if one of the really cool things, if you're here, like I'm getting it here, TFL, if you can breathe it about a 4 count in, 8 count out, after a few breaths, you might find it'll start to decrease. If it does not, then that's when you can kind of bail out of it a little bit. But you're going to get more out of it if you can stay in this position. And this is where what we did with the tennis ball in the very beginning can actually be really helpful. If you have areas that tend to cramp, you can practice that sinking into it and then ejecting it, and that'll give you better control. Okay, so we get to do one more here. All right, so find a position that works for you. I'm rotated enough now that I can kind of grab my shin and keep myself solid. You can keep your hands down wherever you feel steady. Slowly start driving down with this left leg with the intent to push yourself away, but you're not moving. We're gradually ramping up. 30, 40, 50. Get up to your highest, safest effort. Maybe that's 80, maybe it's 90, maybe it's higher. And I want you to stay there. Maintain it. Tension through your whole body, and I will count you down for the rails. 3, 2, 1. Pull in. Use these tissues. Pull that pelvis over that left hip. Keep pulling. Pull that torso. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Pull, pull, pull. Even if you're not moving, you're intending to pull. 3, 2, 1. Hang out here if you can. What I'm doing now from my position is I'm kind of grabbing my leg, my left leg, to help me stay here. And I just want you to take a couple deep breaths. So you've heard me say this before probably. This is now your favorite position. This is what you're trying to convince your nervous system and your body of. This is your favorite. Breathe, relax. This is where we want to be. Okay, and slowly ease out of it. Woo! Beautiful. Nice and easy, ease out of it. That was a good dismount there, Walter. I saw that one. Very, very nice. Very nice. All right. So that's a lot of work. And if you really ramp up, it's a lot of time under tension. It's fairly intense. So let's just do a couple nice, easy rotations with that left hip. You can move that right one around too, because that was also, in a tough position there. So I like to get a little rotation. CARs are really great for after these to help reinforce some of those changes. So those PAILs, rails, that's what we want to do to expand our range of motion, gain some strength and control there. And once we do that, then we can add on, like we did last week, a lot of those end range options, lift-offs, hovers, to layer on additional strength. So now, take a couple breaths. We are going to do the same thing on the other side. So don't worry, I'm not a sociopath. I'm not going to just do the left side. So find a comfortable position there. Okay. Again, because of my knee, I won't fully demonstrate here, but same idea. I want you to find a comfortable position. If you need to, you can pop a block underneath. Okay. Good. And then we're going to play around with the same idea where you're rotating your pelvis. So right leg stays pretty fixed. You're rotating the pelvis. And I'm totally okay with this left leg moving as you do that. Whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, I'm actually going to go back to my other side here. But you stay on your side. So same idea, we're rotating that pelvis. Find those tissues, you're going to feel them in here, you're going to feel them on the outside a little bit, pulling you into internal rotation. Find the tissues that are working when you drive through that left leg to push you away, because these are our our PAILs tissues to push you away. Okay, PAILs, rails. That's kind of the effort that we're intending for. Pulling in, driving away. Alrighty, so now, same deal. Find that position, rotate that pelvis so that you're at that range. A non-painful end of your active range. And from here, take a few nice deep breaths. There we go. So step one, especially if you find that your hips seem to need a lot more range of motion, that's when you're really going to want to spend more time stretching prior to the PAILs and rails. If you have a lot of range of motion already, then what you probably want to do is not stretch as much, but add in some more of the end range options, or do PAILs, rails, but without the stretch. Okay, so we're going to start driving down. Create tension, create some pressure through your abdomen, slowly start driving in at about a 10 or 20% effort. We're gradually building up, 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 get up to about 70 to 80% of your max, and you're staying here. Solid contraction. There's tension through every part of your body. You're maintaining. I will count you down, and we're going to do that rails to pull further in. 3, 2, 1, pull. Pull, 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 pull. Woo, there's the good stuff. Keep pulling. Pull that pelvis over the left hip. Rotate that torso. Keep pulling. Even if you're not moving, I want you to intend to pull. 4, 3, 2, stay in this position. 1, and breathe. Your breath is what's going to inform your nervous system. So if you're able to, 4 count in, 8 count out. All right, try to find that state like we did in the beginning where we're trying to let go of that tension. This is our happy place. I know it's redundant for me to actually say this is our happy place, but you were all thinking it anyway. So, okay, so another couple breaths, and then we get to do one more of those. All right, so find a position that works for you. I didn't mention before, but you can do things like lean your body against something to make this just a little less aversive for some people. Okay, so here we go. You're ready? Slowly start driving in. You've got that pressure. Drive in through your left leg as if you're trying to push yourself out of this, but you're not moving. Build up, build up, build up. Get to 80, 90, or 100% effort if you can. As high as you can safely go. Maintain it. Maintain it. You're steady. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull, 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 pull. Rotate. Even if you're not moving, and you're probably going to get less movement than the first one, that's okay. Intend to pull. Intend to pull. A little longer here. 4, 3, 2, stay in it, and 1. Woo! Smiling helps too. Smile and breathe. Smile and breathe. You can silently curse me. That's also allowed. I mean, I guess you could do it out loud if that helps. And now slowly ease out of it. Excellent. All right. Shake out the legs a little bit. We're almost there. So we're gonna finish up with a couple little fun things. I was gonna do some extra hip CARs, but we don't have 2 hours here, so I won't keep you too long. But what we're going to do, we'll give the hips a little bit of a break. We're going to do push-ups and hip hinges, 2 sets. So kinetic stretching push-ups, creating tension. Imagine you're grabbing the ground, pulling yourself down, driving away. We're only going to do 1 rep, then we're going to come up and do some hip hinges, and then another rep. Okay, so you're here, like this. I'll do the time lapse. Okay, pulling down. That's about 4 times speed, okay? So whatever comfortable push-up you can do, you're gonna be here, tuck that pelvis, create that tension, that's step 1, grip the floor, you're protracted, and you're gonna pull down through the shoulder blades, pull from the elbows, as low as you can go, just grazing the floor, and then really slowly drive back up. Keep that tension through your whole body. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then we are up to standing. All right, so we're going to have our right leg slightly forward, left leg slightly back. This is going to be similar to what we did earlier. And I'm going to have you, as we come down, we're going to rotate internally on our left hip. So you're going to rotate as you sink down, creating a lot of tension. Okay, so use your abs. I'm going to start pulling down and pulling to the left. Feel this stretch. Find this stretch. Pull down to the left as low as you can go. Drive slowly through the legs. Use the hips to come up. Excellent. We're going to go for 2 more. So, pull down, rotating over that left hip, sticking the butt back, pull yourself down. Use that stretched left hip to drive yourself back up, 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 up to standing. 1 more here. Pull, rotate, pull, 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 pull. Reach back, pull yourself back. Get those muscles working. There we are. Slowly drive yourself back up. Nice. All right, shake it out a second. We are going to do the other side, but we get to do our second push-up first. So almost there. Okay, push-up time. Once you're ready, we're doing the same thing. Gripping tight, pulling yourself down, nice and slow. All right, here we go. Solid through the pelvis. Slowly pull. Pinch those shoulder blades. Elbows follow. Excellent. I love it. Love the speed. Good control, Neil. Once you get to the bottom, slowly drive up. Everything comes up together. Imagine you're 3 times as heavy. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Yeah, so bittersweet. That's it for the push-ups today. I know it's a little bit of a bummer, but we're going to go last 3 reps of the day. Left leg slightly forward, right leg back. Okay, we're here. And pull down. Rotate to the right. Sink down and back, down and back. Feel that stretch through the right hip. Use those stretch tissues to drive you back up tall. All the way up, extend the hips. Use these to pull you in. Use those muscles to pull you in. It'll feel a little similar to the 90-90. Pull in all the way. Slowly drive back up. I love it. Go at your own pace here. Yeah. Take your time. We're going for 3. So just 1 more. Once you're ready, you're pulling in, rotating to the right. Find that right hip. Find that right hip. Find the best stretch you can there as you sink down. Drive through that right heel to slowly push you back up. Woo! All right, and you are all done. Nice work, everybody. Feel free to chime in if you have any questions. Thanks for joining. Anybody have any? You're very welcome, Lisa. Any thoughts or questions? Looking solid, Brandon. That was good. You got an extra one in. Well, again, thank you all for joining. I hope this was helpful. What we did in the beginning with the ball, I know some of you missed part of that, but that can be really, really helpful for reducing some tension. And again, just getting your body used to creating and letting go of tension. So if you find that with any of your training or with any of the stuff that we do, you have certain areas that always seem to be tight or always seem to cramp up, I would try using a ball or something for the purposes we did for the hamstring. So like TFL, especially the part of the muscle up here, you could try that. Just kind of leaning on that. You could try it with your shoulder against the floor or against the wall. But the big keys are we don't want to push through pain. So there's been kind of a trend in the fitness industry for a while to use like a lacrosse ball or something really hard to smash our muscles. Generally, that's not super productive. So what you want to do is find a comfortable amount of tension, then practice really melting into it, and then pushing it away. And that's going to be a much more productive form of kind of self-massage. So,
thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome. Thank you all.